the love of Our Lady Fatima Zahra, صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وأفوض أمري إلى الله إن الله بصير بالعباد. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله، صلى الله عليك وعلى ابن عمك أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب، وعلى ابنتك المظلومة المغصوبة المكسور ضلعها المقتول جنينها، فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين. صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله، يا رحمة الله الواسعة، ويا باب نجاة الأمة، غريب مظلوم كربلاء. يا ليتنا كنا معكم فنفوز فوزا عظيما، فوزا عظيما في الدنيا والآخرة. From this place we will send our salams, our salutation to the Imam, to the Matam Imam, the Mata of the Mata, Imam Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. With your deepest vows, with a sad heart, send you salams. Assalamu alayka Abdullah, wa ala al-arwah عليك مني سلام الله. وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن وعلى deep in my soul, deep in my soul, I have a heart filled with love of Imam of our time, Imam Sahib al-Asr wal-Zaman. Deep in my soul, I have a heart filled because I've been grieving, I've been crying, weeping tears, shedding tears for the Imam of our time. My eyes have lost their vision and sight. Days and months, my tear-filled eyes, I have wept my Imam of our time. When will you reply with a given salam? When will your brilliant face I see? Oh beloved Master, without you how many days I can survive? You see how we are strangers on this earth, how the Shi'as on this earth have been oppressed, how people are mocking us because we have no master. Our elders have passed, our young ones have become old, and yet we have not seen you, and yet your occultation have belonged. Your guidance I require throughout my life. Another name of you I can call day and night, month and year. Ya sahibat, ya sahibat, ya sahibat zaman al-ajalat الأمانة الأمانة الأمان من فتن آخر الزمان. Another name for the Imam of our time is Sahib al-Asr wal-Zaman, meaning that Allah has given him this name, meaning that he is the master of the time. قال إمامنا الحسين عليه السلام في دعاء عرفة: عميت عين لا تراك عليها رقيبا. For the love of Imam of our time, صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. When Allah Azza wa Jal gifted us with intellectual and the power of using our mind, He gave us a command. The command is that He gave us this command to use this brain to research and visualize the surrounding areas within us, within our perimeters. Now, I cannot see the outside of this mosque. I only can see within this mosque. What does that mean? That Allah Azza wa Jal want me with perceiving and with seeing only this perimeter, He wants me to visualize His creation. Meaning that when we come across, for example, a chair, we ask for its creator. No one can come, an atheist, for example, and see a chair and not ask for its creator. When he comes past, he asks for the creator of the chair. You would say the timberman. Now, the timberman had created this chair, but from where did he get the timber? From the tree. But who created the tree? There should be a power beyond power that had created that timber. Now, let's not go far. Let's go in us. Let's go within our perimeter of life, our bodies. Now, Imam alayhi salam, in his tradition, he says, "Man arafa nafsah, faqad arafa rabbah." Whoever knows himself has got what has encompassed that meaning that Allah Azza wa Jal does exist. Now, for example, if we come and see our self, our human body, our human body consists of an eye. We have an eye. The eye is so systematic that Allah Azza wa Jal has made it so precise that it cannot go wrong. Our hands are made to do a certain stuff. Our duty is to use that hand to do what? To worship Allah. Our mind, Allah Azza wa Jal has given us our mind to what? Perceive and what to study and what to visualize the surrounding and research. Our legs, we can move around. And yet, within this body of a mind, which is only probably 3 meters if it can be very large, or 2 meters if it could be very large, I can only see that body of mine, and I cannot find the solution of who made this body. And yet, those scientists cannot find within their research of who has made this body that's so precise in doing its jobs. The kidney is doing the job, and yet I'm not even sensing what the kidney is doing. For 70 years, my heart is working so fine, and yet after 70 years, I'm having a heart problem. I go to the doctors, they say you just had a heart attack. For 70 years, Allah Azza wa Jal has blessed me with that heart. For 70 years, Allah Azza wa Jal has blessed me with a kidney, and yet I do not even sense it, feel the kidney. For 70 years, Allah Azza wa Jal has given me the ability to smell, and yet I do not see that blessing. For 70 years, I have the blessing to taste. Now with COVID-19, some people lost the blessing of what taste. They couldn't taste food. If you give them a bitter food, they can't taste it. Sour, they can't taste it. Now they've come to that solution that Allah Azza wa Jal has given us that blessing. Some people, they come back to me and they say, Sayyidina, I'm facing depression in life. You're facing depression in life because you are not content in what? In what Allah Azza wa Jal has given you. Allah Azza wa Jal has, if you like, bombarded you with blessings in your life. Why are you not content? Why do you need more? And why do you have greed? Now we have a greed which is good, and we have certain greed which is good, one of them which is bad. What? Greed of wanting more and the greed of money, wealth. The good greed is the good greed of worshipping. That every day, if a certain day I wake up for Salat al-Subh, I pray Salat al-Subh. Before praying Salat al-Subh, I want to do a nafilah. I do the nafilah. Now that greed, I want to encompass. I finish the nafilah. After praying Salat al-Subh, I do shukr. I prostrate and do 100 times shukran, 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 shukran. What does it mean? That means that when Allah has blessed me with so much of blessing, He deserves for me to thank Him. I should have gratitude to Him. If someone gives you a piece of paper, you thank Him, and yet you are not thanking your Almighty. And yet within that shukr, prostration of doing 100 shukr, Allah Azza wa Jal will increase your wealth. The greed, wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. With the greed of worshipping is what? When I want to pray Salat al-Dhuhr Asr, I pray 2 rak'at for what? Salat al-Mustahabba. A greed that which is good is that if I want to sleep, now some people come and ask me, say it, how could I be always in wudu, with wudu? Sometimes I want to go to sleep, and if I wash my face, I want to go to sleep. If I wash my face, what happens? I cannot sleep anymore. So the best thing that the ulama say, the best practice is that you can do tayammum on your blanket before you want to go to sleep. Why? Because the blanket and this wudu is what? Mustahab. Some people come to me and say, Sayyiduna, we cannot perform the mustahabbat, yet we have work. The ulama say you can perform the mustahabbat while you're walking, because it's not a requirement to have direction of the qibla to what? To pray those mustahabbat. Now Allah Azza wa Jal has blessed me with that blessing. They say we have depression. How can we tackle depression? With what? We can tackle depression by writing down the blessings of Allah. Sit down and write. If you want to list the blessings of Allah, begin with your body, begin with your eyes, and see how it's deep in what? In consisting those listing. The eyes is not only for sight. The eyes has many to grasp. The hands, the legs, all that. Get the blessing of what? Of oxygen. The blessing that you are living in a country which is safety. The blessing that Allah Azza wa Jal has given you. The blessing that you're not in the hospital. The blessing that Allah Azza wa Jal has made you healthy. The blessing that Allah Azza wa Jal has given you a good parent. The blessing that Allah Azza wa Jal has given you a good children. The blessing that Allah Azza wa Jal has given you a good education. The blessing that Allah Azza wa Jal has given you a good health system. Those are all the blessings of Allah, and yet you say, Sayyiduna, I'm not content. Why are you not content? Because you're not listing those blessings. Man arafa nafsah faqad arafa rabbah. Whoever knows himself, what? Whoever perceives himself, perceives what is within this body, has to get to know the who? Almighty. Okay. Man arafa nafsah faqad arafa rabbah. There's an ayah in the Quran al-Kareem. It says, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. What does it mean? For example, if Allah Azza wa Jal has created a human being and the eyes is not in the upper level, it's beneath, it's in the lower level, would that make a good shaping of a person? No. If Allah Azza wa Jal creates a human being and he has 2-3 hands, it's not a good shape. This means that لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam says, مِنْهُمْ مَنْ يُؤْمِنُ بِالسَّمْعِ وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يُؤْمِنُ بِالنَّظَرِ. Sometimes you look around you, you perceive Allah's creation, you become what? A believer in the one sense of Allah. You become a believer in the Almighty. Sometimes no, sometimes you have to hear. Abu Dhar al-Ghifari alayhi rahmatullah, Abu Dhar al-Ghifari, before coming to Medina and before becoming a Muslim, Abu Dhar al-Ghifari was in a tribe, in a village. His tribe were very poor. They would make the statue of what? Dates, because they were very poor. Abu Dhar al-Ghifari, he was among those people who would worship the statue. He would sit down and worship the statue. Sometimes the tribe would be starving because they had no food. They would attack the statue and eat the statue. What? Eat the dates. Abu Dhar al-Ghifari, one day he says, I sat down looking at the statue from a distance. Suddenly I saw an animal, fox, came towards the statue. Went closer to the statue. He went to the statue. When he got closer to the statue, the fox went closer and closer and closer, attacked the statue, urinated to the statue and left. Suddenly this triggered me. How come I am believing in a statue which cannot protect itself, and yet I want the statue to protect me? I went in deep thinking and I left what? Worshipping statues. I went to Medina and became a Muslim. That's Abu Dhar al-Ghifari. Abu Dhar al-Ghifari. Now some people say, Sayyiduna, I do believe in Allah. But how do I not commit sins? Because now I have been ill by committing sins. How do I find or resolve this situation of mine? I go on the roads and I see different people. I go on the internet and see different people. And yet we are living in a free country, a country which is freedom, is a voice now, and a country that, we have transgenders, a country that we have other people from other societies which are calling for the rights and everything. And yet we want to become a true Muslim. It is very easy to become a true Muslim. With what? With this tradition of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Imam Hussein, one man came to the Imam alayhi salam and said to the Imam, "Oh Imam of my time, Imam Hussein, what should I do that not to commit sin? Because I've been committing sin. I must have a way a method that I would not commit sins anymore." The Imam said to him, "I will give you 5 steps. Do these 5 steps, accomplish them. If you do it, go commit as much sin as you like." He said, "What are they?" He said, "If you want to commit sin, don't commit sin with using energy that Allah Azza wa Jal has given you. Because the energy that we have within us, Allah Azza wa Jal has given us. The second thing is that if you want to commit sin, do not consume food that Allah Azza wa Jal has given you. Don't consume food. The third thing is that if you want to commit sin, don't be under Allah's sight. Don't be on earth. The fourth one requirement is, if you want to commit sin, commit as much as sin as you like, but when the angel of death comes and want to take your soul, stop him. The fifth is, if Allah puts you in hellfire and want to punish you, stop Allah." The man said, "Oh Imam, I cannot accomplish those requirements." Then the Imam said, "Do not commit any sins." Now this was the Imam this was the Imam that these days we have been coming to these majalis and shedding tears for his martyrdom. Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam. One of the Imam's sayings before going to Karbala was that he said to the people that the sunnah of the Prophet has been dead within the community. فَإِنَّ السُّنَّةَ قَدْ أُمِيتَتْ. What does it mean? Is sunnah what they claim that sunnah, they are the Sunnis, or the sunnah of the Prophet is something else? The sunnah of the Prophet is how the Prophet practiced Islam in front of the companions, how the Prophet prayed in front of the companions, not what they fabricated. Who fabricated? Muawiyah. Muawiyah fabricated the riwayat in which the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said in a tradition, إِذَا رَأَيْتُم مُعَاوِيَ عَلَى مِنْبَرِي فَاقْتُلُوهُ. If you see Muawiyah on my minbar, kill him. What did Muawiyah do? He changed this riwayah. He said, إِذَا رَأَيْتُم مُعَاوِيَ عَلَى مِنْبَرِي فَاقْبَلُوهُ. One sunnah that he changed. The second sunnah that Muawiyah did was what? He gave to his people, the Shamins, he gave them what? What did he give them? He gave them a fruit. He gave them a fruit and he told them, take this fruit and slaughter this fruit as if you are slaughtering an animal. They came to the Imam. Imam who? Imam Ali alayhi salam. They told him, did the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam command us to slaughter that fruit? He said no. They said, but Muawiyah is ordering us to do so. Muawiyah fabricated the tradition is in doing what? One day he came He said that I want to pray. They said, Muawiyah, it's Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. He said, no, I want to do Jum'ah today. So he gathered people for the Jum'ah prayer, and they prayed Jum'ah prayer on the day of Wednesday. So Imam alayhi salam said, فَإِنَّ السُنَّةَ قَدْ أُمِيتَتْ وَإِنَّ الْبِدْعَةَ قَدْ أُحْيَتْ. And the heresy has been put alive. And what Yazid has done, Muawiyah has done, revived the heresy. In doing what? In making people hate the Ahlul Bayt. How? Muawiyah la'natullahi alayhi, what he did was, one day he came to his minister, his overseer, Amr al-As. He said, Amr al-As, I see people in the Sham, they love Ali. What should I do? Amr al-As said, I have the tactic with me. He said, how? He said, I have the tactics. I have the tactic with me. Do as I command you. He said, what? He said, don't worry. He said, Muawiyah, buy sheep. But what? Baby sheep. And give it to all children of the shamans. He said, how? He said, go knock on the doors and give these sheep, baby sheep, to their children. He said, but this will cost me a lot of money. A lot of income will be gone of this. He said, don't worry, Muawiyah. I have a plan. Tomorrow, his soldiers came. They took those sheep to the doors and the houses of those shamans, and they gave to the children. The children took it. He said to him, Amr al-As, he said, when you give these sheep to the children, say that these sheep are the gifts of who? Muawiyah. He said, done. He went there. Amr al-As, he went to the soldiers. He told the soldiers to command them of the orders of Muawiyah, and he gave the soldiers those sheep, and they starting to spread and give gifts to the boys, to the little boys, those sheep. They gave them out. They gave them out, and every shaman house had a sheep or two. The children. They started nurturing those sheep and feeding those sheep and getting attached to those sheep with love and belonging, until those sheep became old and old and older, grew up. Muawiyah came to Muawiyah. He said, Muawiyah, now it's a time to put this tactic into action. He said, doing what? He said, go to the houses and take the sheep of the children. How? He said, send thieves to those houses. And if in the morning people ask of the sheep, said, Ali has stolen those sheep. Ali has stolen those sheep. They went to the houses. They stole the sheep. In the morning, children came to the castle of Muawiyah, and men came with them complaining of what? The children were crying. Were in grief of losing those sheep. They asked, they said, Ali has stolen these sheep. So the shamans started hating Ali, and he breathed this hate inside them. This hate inside them. Muawiyah, in his time, he did a treaty with who? Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Within his treaty with Imam Hassan alayhi salam, one of the listing within this treaty was that if he passes away, automatically the leadership will go to who? To Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And if Imam Hassan alayhi salam would pass away, automatically will go to Imam Hussein. Hence why Imam Hussein uprised against Yazid, because the leadership will come to who? Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Now this treaty was in place. Muawiyah died. When he died, Yazid tried to take allegiance from who? From the leaders of where? Of Mecca. He sent a letter to who? Walid ibn al-Mughayra. He sent the letter. He sent the letter to who? To his castle. That take allegiance from who? From Hussein, Abdullah ibn Zubayr, and Abdullah ibn Umar. These three leaders. He sent it there. At night, he called Hussein to who? To the castle. Hussein alayhi salam, before going to the castle, he called upon Abu Fadl Abbas, alaykum salam, his companions, his relatives with him to accompany him to the castle. They went with him to the castle. And Imam Hussein said, if I call out, come inside the castle and take me out. He went inside the castle. He said, what do you want, Walid? He said, this is a letter from Yazid. Yazid has asked me to take a letter of allegiance from you for him. He said, inshallah, tomorrow morning, I will tell you of what I have, of what I intend to do in public. Marwan ibn al-Hakam was sitting beside Walid. As soon as he heard Hussein alayhi salam saying that, Marwan said, take allegiance from him now. If you don't not take allegiance, behead him. When Hussein alayhi salam heard the threatening from Marwan, he called upon his brother Abbas alayhi salam, came in and took him out from the castle. And Imam Hussein alayhi salam sensed that threaten from the Umayyads against him. So he must leave Mecca. But before he wanted to leave Mecca, he must say his farewell to his mother. He must say his farewell to his brother, Imam Hassan. He must say his farewell to his grandfather, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Imam Hussein alayhi salam came to the shrine of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam and stood and said his salams to the Prophet. Then he went closer until he reached the grave. He cried and cried and cried until he fainted. Imam Hussein alayhi salam saw the Holy Prophet surrounded by angels. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam came to the Imam. He hugged the Imam. The Imam alayhi salam started crying. When Imam Hussein saw the love from the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam towards him, he said to him, "Oh grandfather, take me with you. I do not want to go back to your people. Your people have put me in distress, in calamities. Your people have threatened me." Rasulullah saw the crying from Hussein and said to him, "Hussein, go back. There is a status that Allah have appointed for you, that you will not reach it until you are martyred. Imam Hussein started calling. The poet here mentions this scenery with this poem. Take me with you, oh grandfather. Take me with you, oh grandfather. May I be free from this world. Why Hussein? I have become tired from grief. Grandfather, I have calamities, and my head have become gray. What was the reply from the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam? And noise came from the grave. Oh my love, Hussein, call with the Prophet. Oh my love, Hussein. Oh my love, Hussein. I see the evil sitting on your chest. Call with the Prophet. Oh my love, saying, oh my love, Hussein. I see him cutting your veins. Oh my love, Hussein. Oh my love, Hussein. I see him ordering the horse to step on your body. Oh my love, Hussein. Oh my love, Hussein. I see the evil putting your head on a spear. Oh my love, Hussein. Oh my love, Hussein. I see him slapping your sister. Oh my love, Hussein. Oh my love, Hussein. I see him cursing your mother. Oh, my love, Hussein, of Hussein, I see enemy banging your tents. I see your children running around. I see your companions beheaded. Oh, my love, Hussein. Oh, my love, Hussein. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين. إلهنا نسألك وندعوك بحب الخلق إليك بمحمد وآل محمد، اغفر لنا يا الله، كفر عنا سيئاتنا، ارحمنا يا سيدنا ومولانا، ولأمواتنا وأموات الجالسين والمؤسسين، خدمة أبي عبد الله رحم الله من قرأ سورة المباركة الفاتحة تسبقها الصلاة على الحبيب المصطفى محمد.